Hello guys, how are you doing today? In my last video tutorial we have learned that how we can add an image to the database, and now we are going to learn that how we can actually fetch that image using a class. And here we are going to learn two concepts. One is that how we can populate our list view from the database, the text and the image, and the other thing we are going to learn that how we can implement our class, and this class would be actually supporting the two variables, our image and the text, which we are going to fetch in the list view. We all usually use string and end. Now we are going to learn that how we can create a variable of a class type, and we'll go ahead. And this is my last video tutorial project, and now we are going to add some functionality to this. First of all, we are going to go to our layout folder, then we are going to go to our custom activity. As you can see, we have only one text view here, and now we are going to add an image here. So we'll go here and find our image view, and I am going to add this with my text. I am going to give it an ID as image view only. If you want, you can give some properties. Go here and you can give a height, like we can define the height as 150 dp, and some width also. This would make our list view look more nicer. So there are so many properties, like we can add a margin also, and I'm going to add a margin of 10 dp. So it's going to shift from the upper, and if I go here and I'll give a 10 dp here, it's going to shift towards the right, and so this would be in the middle of the screen. So now we are going to go to our Java folder, and here we are going to add a new class. As I have told you, we are going to go and create some class type variables. So we are going to create a Java class here, and I'm going to give it a name as my data. So this class would be basically having two private variables. One would be the string variable, and other would be the image. This would be the byte. As we all know, the type of image is byte. So, and we are going to create a constructor here. Constructor is always as same name as the class name. So we are going to add these two variables in our constructor. First is string name, and other is byte image, and now we are going to assign them. And now we are going to go ahead and create two of our functions, but one would be for getting the name, and this would return name. Other would be for getting the image. Both of the above are responsible for getting the name and the image, and now we are going to go ahead and add two more functions that would be responsible for setting the image and the name. This is showing an error because I have added a small d here. It should be same as my class name. And now this class is done. And now we are going to go to our main activity file and we'll make some amendments here. As we can see, we have defined the array list of string type, and here we are going to change it to my data. This is our class type. So list data is a variable which can hold two variables. One is name and the other one is image. And now we are going to change our custom adapter here. Since it's not accepting anything here, we are going to change it in a little while. And here we are going to change this also, since now we have more things, so we are going to change it. First we are going to create a string type of variable name, and this would be responsible for getting the string, and we are going to pass the column 1 here. And second would be our byte type image, and we are going to get here blob type, and this is our second column in the database, so we'll write 2 here. And we are going to add this to our list data like this, and we'll create new my data, and we'll pass name and image here, so that this can go to our file in the each column or in the each value. Then it would be going here and would be fetching the new name and the new image for the every entry. So now we are going to change our custom adapter class, since we are using some things which are different earlier, and now we are going to change them. Now we are going to go ahead and add some variables. First we are going to add private context, and we are going to give it a name as context only, and the other one would be our layout. So this is int type, and the next would be our array list type of variable. So this variable would be having its type as my data class, so that it can accept all the data. and I am going to add a variable as text list. So basically in this we are going to enter, this is the get count. Here would be having the count of our text list variable. So we are going to add the text list instead of list data. So text list size would be in the get count, and for the position we are going to return text list dot get position. So we'll write here text list dot get, and we'll pass position here. So this would be having the position of the text list array. And now we are going to go ahead and add our constructor here, which would be actually passing the data. So we are going to add a custom adapter. As we all know, it has the same name as the class name. So here would be the custom adapter. I'm going to keep it public, and the variables we'll be passing here are as the same we have defined above, these three variables. So first would be the context, second would be the layout, and third would be our array list. And we are going to assign them this dot context equal to context, so text list would be having all our data, and it would be responsible for making the list view, and in each row it would be defining the two things. One would be the image and other would be the name, because it is my data type of variable, and as we know we have put it two things in my data, which is the name and the image. So our my data class with its getter and setter would be fetching each value from the each row, and it would be assigning it to text list through this function, because we have set it for the first column we are putting the data into the string name, and for the second column we are fetching from the database, we are putting into the image and we are passing it here, and from that class we are fetching the data. So now we are going to change some other things, and here we'll change the position. Instead of returning 0 we are going to get the position here, and we are going to create a view holder also. So we are going to create a private class, and I'm going to give it a name as view holder. And it would be having our image view. I'm just giving it a name as 1 so that we don't get confused between the ID and the name here. And the second would be the text view. Now we are going to go ahead and change. I'm going to give it a simple name, and here we are going to give all the new things. So I'm going to delete this, and we are going to add view, row, and we are going to define one view holder, and I'm going to give it a name as holder. Now we are going to go ahead and create our first row. So we'll define a if statement here. If row is equal to null, then we are going to define a new row. So here we are going to add it. So we are going to add layout inflator, and we are going to pass here context dot layout service, layout inflator service. Now we are going to create a row, and we are going to inflate it, inflator dot inflate with two parameters, layout and null. So this would be basically setting the layout of the row. And now we are going to create a holder equal to new view holder, and in holder we are going to assign the text name, and we are going to set it as text view, row dot find view by id, and here we are going to define our text dot id dot the id of our text view, which we have used in our custom activity file. And the second would be holder dot image view, and we are going to give it as image view, row dot find view by id, and r dot id dot, which is the id in our custom activity file. So now we are going to set see what we have done. We have defined the text name and the image view to the holder, and we have passed the holder to our row. So one row would be having a text view and an image view. And now we are going to give it a else statement. If row is already there, then what we are going to do, so for else we are going to create a holder is equal to view holder, and here we are going to give row dot get and now we are going to define a final type of my data variable, and I'll give it a name as food text list dot get position, we'll set its text with food dot get name, the function in our class my data, and holder dot image view 1 dot set bitmap, and we'll pass the bitmap here. But we have also to created this bitmap, so I'm going to create it byte, and this would be my food image, and I'm going to define as food dot get image. And it would be having three variables. First would be the food image, second would be 0, and third would be the length. So food image dot length, and now we are going to return row. So it's done. So something is giving an error. Let's check it. Oh, we don't define the custom adapter here. Since we have passed the variables in our custom adapter, here are three things. So we have to define all these three things here also. We'll define the file name from where it has to pick up the view and the variable, which is our list data, which we have used above also. So now it's not giving any error, the error is gone. So let's go ahead and run this, and let's see if it is working fine. So I'm going to give it a dummy name. I have defined a food here, so I'll write apple and I'll choose the image. It's asking for the permission. We'll allow, and there is no file, so I'm going to click one picture. And we are going to add this. So see, data is inserted. This is our list view. I have some entries earlier also, so it's here. You can adjust your image accordingly. You can give it a margin so that it could be in the center and look more nicer. And since we are clicking here now, it's not doing anything. We are going to give it a edit also, that if we'll click on the row, so we can edit the entries. We are going to see that in our next video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep sharing, liking and subscribing. Thank you.